I turned my attention to my instrument, tuning out the crowd. But not her. No, I played for her and her alone, jumping in for a solo when it wasn't my turn. The guys let me. All I had to do was shift, and they knew I was taking over. I was the closest thing to a conductor that we had. I spun my bass, dragged it across the stage without my fingers losing their place, playing harder, faster than I usually did, tilted it to 45 degrees, and climbed on top in a feat of skill that looked to defy gravity, but was simply a matter of physics. The neck in my left hand, my foot in the waist, the weight on my back foot holding the bass to the ground. When I jumped off, it was with the kick of my feet out behind me, and when I landed, I swept my instrument into my arms to play it like a bass guitar. The screaming and whistling reached me through a haze. I jerked my chin to Chris, our trumpet player, who joined me in a seamless duet. He walked to my side facing me as he played, the two of us riffing off each other like we had 100 times. When I widened my stance and gave him a nod, he picked up his pace and brought the melody up to the top. And when it hit the height, just before the rest of the band joined in, he jumped on my back and pointed at the ceiling, ripping the high note right on cue. The crowd lost it, yelling and whooping and bouncing. Feet were in the air, skirts flying, smiles, smiles, smiles everywhere. And I was high on the feeling. Val was there, on the edge of the dance floor, jitterbugging alone, while Catherine and Amelia swung each other around. We started a new song, and I took my place back in the middle of the group. But I couldn't stop watching her. Fucked beyond repair. That's what I was. She's not for you. You can't have her. Find another girl before you do something stupid. A wave of aversion rushed over me at the thought of hooking up with anyone. I found myself wearing a mighty frown. It happened like this sometimes. I'd meet a girl I wanted, and she'd be all I wanted until I saw things through. That explained what this feeling was. That was all it could be. All I was capable of. Attraction, possession, acquisition. Nothing more. The thought erased my discomfort. And with my conscience clean, I gave myself license to watch Val without remorse. The set felt forever long, and by the end, I was itching to get my hands around Val's waist. From the confines of the stage, I'd witnessed a string of guys ask her to dance, but she'd turned them all down. The teacher in me shook his head. She'd missed the point. The player in me thumbed his suspenders, nodding his approval. I had an itching notion I wouldn't take kindly to watching another man twirl her around the dance floor. I rushed off the stage, hurrying my instrument into its case, taking the stairs down to the floor in a leap, eating up the space between me and her in a series of strides and a handful of heartbeats. She didn't see me coming, not until I was almost on her. I stepped into her seamlessly, slipped one hand in the notch of her waist, and grabbed her hand with the other, spinning us in a single motion. And just like that, we were dancing, around and around, into me and away from me, her skirts flying and smile bright, her laughter in my ears and her body against mine. I quit tricking her around so we could catch our breaths, and she fit into the frame of my arms with precision and grace that always surprised me, no matter how many times I'd held her like this. "Having fun?" I asked. "Always. Is there any other way to swing?" "Nope," I said as I sped us around in a little triple step, spinning her around before slowing us again. "The band was on fire tonight. You guys were feeling it, huh? The crowd was hopping." We were definitely feeling it. A pause breathed between us, and something akin to guilt rose in my chest. A dreadful, sinking feeling. She's not for you. Just once. You promised. I opened my mouth to say something, anything to reinforce the fences, to keep her away, but she spoke first. "So, I've been thinking about our lessons." "Have you?" I asked, praying my voice was devoid of hope. "Mm-hmm," she answered with a nod and a smile. "I've been thinking about them a lot. I learned something very valuable last night." I swallowed hard enough to